Okay, so we are into 2023 and let's see how our 2023 lineup is working out, what I opted to do, what I changed, and all of the good things. So let's get into it. So this year I decided to use a catch-all. I always use a catch-all, but to not put my social media planning in the planner with all my other items. So we got a lot of stuff sitting here. So let's start with the easy stuff. So I do goal setting, and previously I was using the Gold Mine and Coco's goals journal. When I write really big and I need to literally like write out every individual step I need to do to accomplish that goal, and then after I do that, I like to break it down as into like, so if this is my yearly goal, what do I need to start doing in January, and kind of habit stacking to make sure that I meet that yearly goal, if that makes sense. So last year, the year before last, I used the Gold Mine and Coco's Goals Journal. She came out with another one in 2022. I did purchase one, but I never used it. I'm actually going to be gifting that to a friend of mine because it's undated. So it just has the month on there. It doesn't have any years or anything on there. So that was the plus. The layout on it was really good, but I also noticed that I wanted to track finances as a part of my goal. And for me, it was personally easier to use a notebook. So last year, I started using this Focus notebook. It's from Gold Mine and Coco. Oh my gosh, I don't know if it's been a year or 2 years since this one released. She does have other ones that are similar in size, but this particular cover is just not available anymore. And this one is 9 inches by 7.5. So it's a fairly nice size. So it is comparable to like the size of a Happy Planner Classic. Let me pull. So you see the comparison. It's slightly smaller, but just for comparison. And this is, so it is the college ruled paper. The paper quality on this is super nice. So last year worked pretty well for me using this as my goals journal to write out my goals and then to do a step-by-step. And then I also used a second sheet for like a reflection page. So like September, I wrote out my goals, and then I had a reflection page. Some months I wrote them out and then wrote out the to-dos, but using a notebook gave me plenty of space to write out what I needed. And some of it is kind of like brain dumping and working all together. So it's working for January. And then with January, this month, what I opted to do was to break down the goals in, because I have some personal information. I opted to break down, these were the goals, and then there were certain areas that I needed to hit every week. So I made a note for those, and then this section will be for reflection. So that it has been a habit that I'm habit stacking. So on Sundays, I go in, I look at what are my goals for this month. So last week was week 1. Today is week 2. So then the categories that I had already pre-written out. Okay, where are we at with our weight? How much money did we save? Well, how did we do with being our productivity? What did we accomplish? All on there. And then I made a section for money management. So I'm doing a 10K challenge. So every time I make a deposit into my savings account, I use these. So it's good to have everything in one section, and then just kind of my monthly breakdown, and then paycheck, and then my debt pay down. So for me, it was helpful to have everything in one notebook. So on Sundays, that is a habit that I am creating. Not only am I doing my planning for the week coming, but I'm also doing a check-in with my finances and my goals. And for me, it was just easier to keep it in a notebook. Number one, I needed to use the notebook, and the notebook has plenty of pages and enough space for me to write out things. So this has been working really well. The last 2 Sundays have been good. I've been able, actually the last 3 Sundays. I'm trying to think, did I do it? I did not. Did I do it New Year's Day? I think I went in and actually wrote down my goals on New Year's Day. So actually coming to this notebook on Sundays is working for me. I do also keep it on my desk so it is visible. And I said that was going to be like a short of each one. Excuse me, I'm about to say I'm literally putting it away as I'm recording. All right. This is a notebook that I started using last year. And initially I did it for like brain dumping on emails, social media, the website, and then just general plans. I am still using this notebook as kind of a everything brain dump, and then just using page flags or the tabs for extra individual items. So I'm going to continue using this for my I guess you can consider it like long thought brain dumping, or product ideas that I may have. I kind of work them out in this notebook. So I'm definitely making a point to use the notebooks that I have. I did a video on this. I don't know if this is considered a journal, or it's by the company Smart Planner. This is Dot Grid. I've been using this for my journaling, and I did kind of go in and pre-decorate. I do decorative journaling some days, and then some days there's just no journaling, but this is working out well. I also keep this on my desk as well, so I make a point after I work out, after I meditate, to come sit down at my desk, journal, and then get into the to-dos of the day. Actually, my top 3 for the day. So this is working out. I like the paper quality. It bends enough for me to, it doesn't bend so it lays completely flat, but it bends enough for me to write down on it without having to sit something on the pages for them to lay flat for me to write on. So this has definitely been a winner. This is probably the biggest change. So last year I just made a section for my business, and it also included like my social media planning in there, and I found that I was not being as productive as I needed to be, especially with scheduling out my post in advance. So I realized I need a actual calendar to do that. I can just set this to the side. So this was on sale at Happy Planner. I actually did a video in regards to this. It is a 18-month planner. When I purchased this, it was already, we were well into 2022. I want to say it was end of November, December, somewhere around there. So I knew I wasn't going to use it. The 6 months that were in there for 2022, I knew I wasn't going to use. And I was debating back and forth if I was actually going to keep them in there and then just redate those for 2023. I said no. I pulled out all of those pages that were in here for 2022. I still need to fill out this section, but I did change this. So I'm going to put down weekly tasks. These are going to be things that I need to do for social media planning every week. So I have a list written down. So, and then these are I'm going to write down. I only really have 3 goals for social media. So these are quarterly goals. So I put the sticker for quarterly goals. So I may put each of those goals and come up with one extra one. So 1 goal each quarter. I kept the year at a glance page. I did keep these perpetual pages in here. What I said I was going to do is write on here all of the fun holidays, like National Donut Day, Chocolate Day, all of those days. So I can already have them in one section and write out the holidays as well. So while I'm scheduling posts, I can already go in and look and say, hey, did I schedule whatever fun day is in April? Let me come up with a post for that. So I can already schedule that far enough in advance. And then this sheet I'm just going to use for brain dumping. So January looks very sad. It was very much a just write things in kind of month. Okay, I'm going to turn the page because I have notes on the other side. I do like the horizontal layout for this social media planning because it gives me enough space to write out things. And instead of writing them out long ways down at the bottom, it gives me, I prefer writing them out left to right versus up and down. So this, so far, so good. It has worked out. I don't foresee myself changing it yet, but again, we're only, what, 15 days into January. This I also keep on my desk, so that way I know I need to make sure I'm looking at it daily. Well, let me not say daily. I'm make sure that I'm looking at it at least 3 times a week. I pull it out on Sundays. Actually, it's probably 4 times a week. So Saturday, Sunday, I'm definitely pulling out my social media planner because those are the days that I usually schedule content. And then I usually pull it out on Wednesdays just to double check to see. So almost daily, because now that I'm thinking about it, I do pull it out on Mondays as well. So it sits on my desk because it is something that I go to on a frequent basis. This is my catch-all planner. I actually take my catch-all planner with me. It actually goes in my purse. I know you're like, this is kind of big to be carrying around. I carry mine around. I don't carry an oversized bag, but I carry a tote bag, and then it also does fit in my it fits in a couple of my crossbodies that are a little bit larger than a file bag. So there are a couple of changes to this one. I know at one point I was debating between the iridescent disc and the gold disc because the gold discs were metal. I like the way these look, but they are plastic, so we'll see how they hold up. I don't do like all of the like pocket designs and throwing the things in the pockets. The only thing I did put in there was just this, and I'll probably take that out. But then I had this loose sheet of stickers that I did leave in there. We have the personalized vellum sheet, the MzDottcalm. This is from Fancy Plans. This is a, I guess you consider a craft paper from Gold Mine and Cocoa that I actually cut down. And now that I'm looking at it, I've cut it down a little short, but it's fine. This is my 23 for 23 that I have yet to complete. I still don't know what else I want to put on there. And then this is just a reflection page. We have our year at a glance. This I actually took out of my planner from last year. I had just printed out so I could have the federal holidays and then a glimpse into 2024. So I'm going to leave that in there. And then we have January. So this is our page flag just for the current week. And then I have this clear divider. I put a sticker on here the sticker is from Coco's Vision. The daily sticker is from one of the Gold Mine and Coco books. And then this clear divider that, I don't know, it's been through the war and back. It looks a little beat. Is from Fancy Plans Club. And then I included several daily sheets for the days that I have a lot of things going on. And that's usually on the weekends. I did pre-decorate a little bit. And then we have the rest of the months. So initially I had the full year in here. It was a little too thick for me, especially being on the plastic disc. And plus I didn't feel like I needed those extra 6 months. I can easily go to the year at a glance and check the dates and then just use post-it notes. So like that's what I did for February. So we have January to June, and I did mix and match the layouts. So April is going to be the dashboard layout. I think March is the dashboard too. March is the dashboard layout as well. And I actually kept the animal print sheets that went with that one. Whereas March, I kept the calendar month, but I added in the neutral dashboard pages just because I was like, usually I can ignore whatever design is on like this spine part, but the animal print is it's kind of bright, and it's like I don't want to have to, if I decide to decorate, I don't want to have to cover that up, not for a whole month. So this particular month I just used the weekly pages from a extension pack that I had. May is the same thing. It's the dashboard layout, but I swapped out the weekly pages so it doesn't have that animal print on there. And then June is the vertical layout. So how did I decide which months I was going to use the vertical versus the dashboard? The vertical months are the months that I have vacations planned. So I like to do really heavy decorating usually when I have vacation coming up, because I'm not going to be writing in the individual plans. I've even thought about only using the vertical for that particular week and then like sticking the dashboard layouts in between, but I felt like that was just way too much. I kept my travel section in here, so this is where I plan for travel. So I made I'm about to say that has my airline like reward stuff on there. I made a sheet with all of the months for 2023, added some stickers and laminated. And then on this side, each trip that I actually take, I'm going to add a sticker on here. And then I keep a running list of restaurants in my state as well as surrounding states, or like back east. I'm originally from Delaware, so whenever I go back home to visit, I have like a running list of places I want to go. Then this is the to-do list and the notes for my upcoming February trip. That's why I have that bookmark there, because that indicates, hey, this is current trip planning. And then I have a notes section in this same travel section just for date nights or anywhere I'm considering going next. So this section back here where it has notes is where I'll be planning vacation number 2 for this year. And then I have a plan section. We have another divider. This section is broken up for YouTube notes, anything business-wise that's kind of brain dumping. And I put that in here because I don't always carry my notebook, but I usually always have my planner. So that way I have space to do brain dumping as well. Project, this is for a current project that I'm working on. So I'm going to slip to those. So that's like a running to-do list, things I need to check, who's supposed to call who, is all in that project section. And then we just have notes. I am listening to the 12-week year on audiobook. So I like to keep a note section in the back. So while I'm listening, I can actually take notes on, the book. These note sheets also are used if I have a meeting or anything like that, because I have separate discbound notebooks for, I have one for the books that I've read, and then I have one for business notes. So once I take the notes, so that's why I just leave it all in my planner. So once I'm done with the book, I'll just take the sheets out and put it in its respective notebook. And then we have biz section. This is logins, companies, vendors that I like to use, their phone numbers, emails, and all of those things in the back. And then this has a back folder. I've yet to use the back folder, but I'm sure it'll come in handy. So that is my 2023 lineup. Meal planning, I have been using this weekly sheet instead of the monthly sheet. I just found it was a little bit easier this year with everything that happened to not try to plan meals anymore for the month and just focus on planning out meals for the week. I felt like this was obtainable and something that I could do. I started to become overwhelmed with trying to plan for a full 30 days. It just was, I don't know, it just brought up memories for me. That was something that my son and I used to do together on Sundays. We would sit down and map out all of the meals for the whole month. So using this notepad has been, it's allowed me to still stick with the meal prep and planning, but it just feels different. So that's why. So that has been part of my 2023, and I hope this was helpful. And one thing I want to say is there are a lot of people who are, you're purchasing a lot of things, you're buying all the things because you see that they're working for other people. Test out what you have and try to use the items that you have in a different way. That may help you find what's most what makes you the most productive. I cannot talk. So I can show you this. I'm about to say the video for this, I think I'm probably going to post prior to this video. So for me, what I realized in the morning after I finish my workout, my meditation, and my journaling, for me, it's worked really well to have, what are the top 3 things that I need to do today that I can do before I actually log into my 9-to-5 job. So that's what I've been using the top section for. What are my top 3s? And then not giving myself a large running to-do list, like just small reminders after these 3 are done. And then my health has been a big thing that I really wanted to focus on. I did not want to do a completely different planner for health and wellness and tracking all of the things. So that is the one plus of using the vertical layout. I've been using the bottom just to track my workouts, my journaling, am I taking my vitamins, am I doing my steps. So for me, it was, yes, that is something that's important to me. Yes, it's something that I want to track. It's not something that I need to create a whole new system for. I know some people do like the transformer planning where they'll have like their fitness planner in there. For for me, again, for me personally, I don't do that. I can track it on this weekly, and then at the end of the month, I can look at what my goal was, and then I can flip through the pages to see, okay, these days you did very well, this days you didn't. So that's just my personal preference. No shade to anybody else and what they like to do. I don't do heavy decorating on my sidebar because I usually use it for a brain dump or notes. So if one of my to-dos is to like call somebody, I call them, and then they tell me I need to do something else, I'll make a note, talk to Patricia Rice. She told me to call 866 on this day and ask for that. I'll put all of that in here. And this week I'm going to use this section just for quick buy grocery items. I'll be on vacation in February, so just like quick items. What do I need for this week and next week, or what am I going to put on my list for an actual grocery delivery for once I get back. So that's what that section is going to be used for. But use the things that you have and just tweak the way that you're using them. That may make all of the difference in the world. But that's just my personal stance. And I do also want to note that probably not February because I have vacation, but March I am going to be going back to Project Stash Down. Stash Down, no buy. Like, I was going through a lot of my stickers during National Sticker Day, and I have a lot of sheets that I've used half of the sheet, but I didn't use the other half. So probably in February, I'm going to pull out all of those sheets, put them in one sticker book, and make it a plan to use all of those half-used sheets either within that month or depending on how many there actually are. If I can get them all used within that month or like within the next 2 months. I determine the time frame based on, of course, how many sheets I actually have that are half used. But that is definitely something that I want to get back into, and I felt like doing the videos did hold me accountable to actually use the things, because I didn't want to have to come back and be like, hey, I bought more stuff and I didn't use any of the stuff that I had planned on using. So that's definitely a goal of mine. But thanks for hanging out and watching. I hope this was helpful for somebody. I know it's a little bit of rambling at the end, but please feel free to leave me a comment, any suggestions. I am working on the lighting situation. I am not a professional YouTuber. So, and if there's any content or anything that you want to see or have questions about, then definitely leave me a comment and let me know. I do want to do a video about how to use your planner based on the layout that you selected. If you think that that's a good idea, let me know in the comment section. I don't want to waste my time doing a video that I don't think anybody's going to watch or somebody's not going to be informed by. But thanks for hanging out with your girl. You have a great day. Peace. And you know what? I take that back. I'm trying to stop saying girl because I'm a good and grown ass woman. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Peace and blessings to you all. Love up on those who love you.